Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Love is LaRonda. Listen, thank you for the 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever listeners that listen. Thank you. Today is a releasing for me. Okay, I am fin to be super vulnerable, and I am about to share a painful situation with you that I didn't even know bothered me as much as it did, because I had kind of just threw it to the side and just kept going. But I didn't know how much it affected me emotionally in doing what I was called to do. So I'm going to share that with you today. The title of today's episode is Losing Everything but Gaining So Much More. As many of you know, in 2021, myself and another lady, and I'm not going to put out any names because that's not important. What's important is what I learned from this experience and what it emotionally did to me that I didn't even know it did. So, in order for me to move on and to move forward, I have to release my truth. Now, y'all are hearing the healing part of it. I endured the emotional part, most part, on my own, but then I released it to some trusted friends. And so now I'm able to release it to you, whoever listens. But I'm releasing it because we overcome by the words of our testimony. And I know that this may help somebody. I don't know who, and it's not my business, but this morning in my spirit, I felt like it was time to release it because I had already released it to my trusted ones, okay? So many of you may know in 2021, I opened up an agency with someone I thought was my friend. And so I was so excited about, having my own agency and, sharing this experience with someone, that was my friend. It was going to be something great for me. And everything was going well. We opened it, we prayed, we did all these things. But as I think back to it, in the beginning, she really didn't want me to be a part of that. But because she was my friend, I wanted to be a part. I wanted to help. And I thought it was a great opportunity, not just, for her, but for me as well. Because it would have been two black women doing something together. And it was amazing to me. And so we did it. We opened up our agency. We had our grand opening. It was amazing. But things started to get a little bit hectic because I don't think neither one of us was prepared that it wouldn't flourish. Because in our mind, we really thought it was going to flourish. We thought it was something new and it was just going to be something great for the community. When the opportunity presented itself, I didn't have a second thought. She told me what was going on, and instantly I just felt like, Rhonda, you got it, so go ahead, do it. You can help her. You can do this, and y'all can do this together. So I didn't even think twice. I had the money at that time, and it was my friend, so why not? This is something amazing, right? And I really felt that it was the right thing to do because, before I've told y'all that when I feel it's the right thing to do, I just do it. I don't think about it. I just do it. And so, I was in the best place that I have ever been in my life financially, okay? I had no debt, none. I didn't have credit cards. I didn't have loans. My car was I had nothing. I had no debt. And so I had put back a few thousands in my savings. So, you know, I was good. I was okay. And everything was going good until it wasn't going good. And so we didn't get the clients and the customers like we thought we was. And so to maintain the building and the financials of the building, because when you open up a building, you still have to pay the rent, you still have to pay the light bill, you still have to pay the internet, you still have to pay the water, you still have bills there. And so I had one income in my savings, and I still had to maintain bills in my own house because I had rent, I had light, and all those things here. And so also in the midst of all of that, Nakia was getting ready to have her baby. So Nakia moved back home, and she was not working. So I'm still trying to maintain the office in the agency. I'm still trying to maintain home, making sure Kia has what she needs. Nakia has the baby. And so I'm trying to make sure Nakia and the baby has what they need. Not just, they know my parents helped as well, but Nakia wasn't working. So there was a lot on me that I really didn't think that would happen. So anyway, we furnished the office. We're doing all these things, you know, and everything in the office had to be purchased by us. Nothing was purchased by anybody else. And so pretty much I used every dime of my savings, and I maxed out credit cards to open this agency and to have this building and to maintain home. Plus, also in our agency, we was helping individuals with things that they needed any way possible that we could. So we was doing community service, we was helping people with bills, we was helping people with school support. We was doing a lot, and it was exciting to me. I was so excited because we was giving back to the community, and it was amazing. But all that was coming pretty much out of our pockets. And so, y'all, it was a financial disaster for me. I have nothing left in my savings. And so pretty much I had to live off credit cards, which most of my credit cards now are maxed out. So I have nothing, but I have everything. After 6 months, we closed the building down because I could no longer afford it. I was broke, and I could no longer afford the building, so I had to leave. And I know in me leaving, it left her in a deficit, because that means that she had to put everything on herself. But I made it clear to her in the beginning that I was going to try for 6 months to see what happens. And if no profit came in, then, you know, I would have to go. And I did have an investor that, you know, that donated and helped me, but it still didn't maintain with everything that was going on in my life for me. And so I had to shut it down. And then what I ended up doing was bringing Jules to my apartment, and I tried to do some services, you know, out of my apartment. And so I was trying to do some services out of my apartment, and I did that for a while. But y'all, I wasn't fulfilled. I really was not fulfilled. And so I gave up hope. I just said I'm done. And I wanted to let everything go. I no longer wanted to do Jules anymore. But in my mind, I knew that Jules was ministry for me. And so I was like, well, I'm going to take a break. And, but to be honest, I was done. I was done. because I felt like it had took everything from me. I was emotionally distraught. I felt like a failure. I felt like nothing that I ever fought for happened for me. And so I just pretty much said I'm done, and I just sat down. But even in my sitting down, y'all, I still found myself. So it's like God had to show me in so many areas. And during the time that I supposedly quit or gave up or took a sabbatical or whatever you want to call it, I sat down and I got to know Rhonda. I got to know me deeper. I got to know me on levels that I never known myself. Because to be honest, that situation hurt me a lot. And not only did that situation hurt me, the fact that I lost a friend in the midst of that, it bothered me. It disappointed me. And I realized that there are certain seasons that you go through that you have to be prepared for. And sometimes who you want to be with you may not be destined to be with you. But either way it go, I'm fine with that part. But I wouldn't have never paid attention to how much it bothered me until God sent a word to me through a lady that I did not know. And she told me that I needed to write down everything that situation done to me emotionally so I can heal and move forward, so God can continue to do the work that he needed to do in me. And so I did what she said do. And then I released it to my trusted friends. And now I'm releasing it to the world, whoever hears this, because this is recorded, it's going to be on YouTube, so whoever want to hear it can hear it. But doing those, because I stopped last June, and after that, I decided to just get to know me, and that's what I done. I dropped everything, y'all. I dropped everything. I closed the Jewels account. I let go of Dinner and Dialogue. I pretty much let go of everything and started doing Love is LaRhonda. Focusing on Rhonda, okay? That's what I done. And it has been the best thing ever for me. Because what I realized is the situation happened because I didn't get directions. I have learned that I have to be wise in my giving. And just because it's a good thing to do, doesn't mean it's your thing to do. I literally lost everything, y'all. My savings, everything. I lost everything. Simply because I was doing what I felt was the right thing to do, and I didn't hear the instructions. I wasn't prepared for that platform. I had no idea what running a business was. I had no idea about marketing. I had no idea about anything. I thought that she knew. But we was both in it blinded. But I thank God, okay? I thank God for that opportunity, because that opportunity showed me how to slow my tail down and how to do things the right way, how to get prepared for what God has for me. I lost everything, but I gained so much more about LaRhonda. Love is LaRhonda, and that's who I've always been. But I had to get to know this person. I had to get to know her because all I had was an experience of she. That's what I would say, she. But the last 6 or 7 months, I have dedicated to myself, to know me intimately, to know what I desire, to know what I want, to know my capacity, to know my trauma, to know everything that everything I can possibly know about me, to prepare me for where God wants to take me. And so now I'm getting ready to figure out, how do I rebrand myself? How do I come from this valley situation? How do I bring myself out the mud? I don't know, but God knows. And I trust God to do that for me, because it has been a battle, y'all. A battle. But I'm grateful. I'm thankful. And I really never stopped doing. I really never stopped going. I just focus more on me and not the physical things of the ministry. Because what I realize is that you can't have anything without having you first. You can put so much thought, time, consideration in other people, but if you're not giving it to you, it's bound to fail. The platform will crack if you're not taking care of you. It just is. And that's basically what happened, is that I wasn't taking care of me. I wasn't taking care of business. I wasn't thinking about my finances. I wasn't thinking about what this was doing to me emotionally. I wasn't thinking about any of that. All I was thinking about that I can help people. I can help people. I can serve people. I never knew the emotional damage that I was doing to myself by continuously trying to serve other people and not serving me. I had my daughter and her baby in my home. She had a C-section, so that was hard for her. It was hard for her that she couldn't do what she wanted to do. She was going through a lot in her emotional health. And the baby was here. The baby needed, it was just a lot. Then it was like, I'm going through these issues, and I'm going through this, and I'm taking on this, I'm doing this, I'm working. It was a lot. So emotionally, I was bankrupt. And because I was bankrupt, I didn't even want to focus on anything anymore, because I hadn't been taking care of me. Had I been taking care of me, I wouldn't have never put myself in a position that I wasn't prepared for, because I would have knew what to expect. I would have knew what I wanted. I would have known my capacity. But I had to go through that to get to this place where I am now. And I don't regret a doggone thing, because I gained so much more. I lost everything, physically and material, money. But I gained a whole new sense of self, a whole new love for self, a whole new spiritual opening, a whole new emotional, mental mindset. I'm grateful. I am so grateful. Because even through the midst of all that, I had to walk away from somebody that I really cared about. I lost a lot in the last year. And y'all, to be frankly honest, I didn't even freaking know what all I lost, because I never sat down still enough to think about it. And the funny thing about it is that there are times where I say to myself, Rhonda, you don't deserve it, because you hadn't really went through nothing. I can see other people going through domestic violence. I see other people going through all type of other stuff that I ain't went through, like the domestic violence in relationships, all this other stuff. I just felt like I didn't have enough trauma. And I didn't deserve it. Other people deserved it because they've been through so much more than me. And and it's sad that I I was wired to overlook my stuff because I didn't feel like it was big enough. And so because I felt like my stuff wasn't big enough, I felt like I didn't deserve that good part. She deserved it because she was abandoned. She deserved it because her mama mistreated her. She deserved it because she went they deserve it. I didn't deserve it. And I never saw my trauma. I never saw my emotional damage until I got to know me and people would bring it to my awareness. Because, I've talked to y'all about how I just emotionally disconnect. Like, it's just normal. It just happens. I just emotionally disconnect. And I keep going. But God had to sit me down to see my brokenness, to see my trauma, to see how damaged I was, and to see how my actions affected other people. Because to me, I just emotionally disconnect, but that doesn't mean that other people emotionally disconnect. So even in moving on and thinking that you're okay and thinking that everything's dandy, you just gonna do blah 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 blah. You really have to understand how those actions affect other people, especially the people that care about you. And I didn't see it until it was brought to my attention. And in therapy, my therapist introduced me to this thing called Johanna window. I think that's what it is. I think I'm misspelling it. But anyway, in this window, it has the things you know, the things that you're blinded to, the things other people, it has things that you and everybody knows about you, like your appearance, how you speak, all these things that people know about you. Then it has on your blind side, where you can't see it, but everybody else sees it. And so then it has this other one at the bottom where you know that you this way, but nobody else can see that you this way. Like your manipulative ways and vindictive way, but you can come off as this little perfect little girl, but deep down inside you're evil. Yeah, that window. And then it has this other window where it's unknown. Like you don't know it, people don't know it, and it's just an array of things in there. That's where I am. Like I know, and people know this part of Rhonda. Like, and then there's this other side of Rhonda that other people see. And that's the word where people will call me nonchalant, uncaring, passive aggressive. Those were things that people saw in me that I didn't see. And then it's this one where I know who I am, but nobody else knew who I was. And so now I'm in this unknown section of me figuring out deeper things about myself that I didn't know and nobody else knew. And now this is where Love is LaRonda is coming in, because I am expressing and giving you this vulnerable side of me of all these things that I'm figuring out in this unknown world about me. I don't know it and the people don't know it, but God knows it. And so this is where I am in life, literally figuring out the unknowns. And I'm amazed at some of these things that are in the unknown. But I'm grateful because now, because of the unknown, is known, and I'm able to share that freedom with other people. So, I said all that to say that just because you feel like you're losing doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. There are some things being done in the unseen that you don't know, and you just got to wait it out. Because when you wait it out, you come into so much more for yourself. And it gives you a peace, it gives you a joy, it gives you a want to. And even though I have nothing financially, I have everything spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. I'm not going without food. Even though I had to use Kalana to buy food, or Nakia buys me food, I'm still eating. Even though, Jerron has to buy gas for my car, I'm still blessed. I have friends that help when I need it. I'm just blessed. And I don't take it for granted. I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy, grateful, stable, mentally and emotionally. And that's something that money nor finances can ever buy. I know who I am without the money. I know who I am without the success. I know who I am without ministry. I know who I am even if nobody else sees it. I know who I am. And there is nothing more greater in life than knowing who you are when you have nothing. God is good to me. And I can never repay him for the things that he has done in my life. I am blessed beyond measure. Grateful for everything that God has done for me. I am open. I am vulnerable. I don't have to live behind the walls of pain or heartbreak, emotional. I don't have to live behind any of that anymore. I am not ashamed. I am not embarrassed. I am healed. I am healed mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Healed. So I lost everything, but I gained so much more. It's an amazing feeling. It's an emotional roller coaster. But through it all, thank you, God. You didn't have to do it, but I'm so glad that you did. Because y'all got to understand that it's not about the physical things. It's not about the material things. It's not about the things that you see with your natural eyes. It's so much more beyond that. And you better get connected. Because if you don't get connected, you're going to lose so much more. And life will hold you hostage to a thing that has no value. Know your value. Know what to value. Know who you are and where you come from. Because, baby, it is so much greater on this side than to sit up and worry about things that you have no control over. It ain't worth the time nor worry. Because the only thing it does is take away from you and hold you hostage from your potential and your greatness and the gift that lies inside of you. Stop worrying. Be not weary in well-doing, for ye shall reap a benefit if you faint not. It's going to work for you when you work it and you get to know you and you get to know Christ and you connect to the one that can give it to you, because it is his will. Nevertheless, your will be done. Not your own, but his. Okay? I want y'all to know that I love you. I am grateful. I am thankful. I am free. I am healed. I am excited. I am committed. I am a testimony. And I'm prepared for what's next for me to get to the place where my God has for me to be. I am prepared for my husband. I am prepared for my ministry. I am prepared to travel. I am prepared for my next. I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing day. Until next time, this is Love is LaRonda. Bye.